Welcome back for another video, and teal season is coming up quick. So today I wanted to do a video talking about what I bring teal hunting. Inside this bag here is all the things that I recommend you bring when you go teal hunting. Now there's gonna be things that I miss in this video. So if you think that I missed an item, drop it down in the comments what it is so that people can go and look at that and know what all of the things that they need to bring for teal hunting are. I wanted to do this in the garage because there's a few things in here that I need to talk about that would be a pain to do up in the studio. So for one, the boat. We're gonna be using the boat this year for teal hunting, hopefully. Ideally, we're gonna have a couple of chances to take the big boat out and do some teal hunting this year, but we've also got the kayak behind the boat here, not the blue one. The blue one is for fishing, the green one is for hunting. So I really recommend using a watercraft when you go teal hunting or duck hunting in general. It can get you to so many places that you can't get by walking. So after I made the upgrade to the kayak, my world was opened up to a lot of places that I could go, and I could bring a lot more gear with me as well. So that's always a perk. But I understand it's not in everybody's budget to go out and buy a big boat or a kayak. So do what's in your budget, but I highly recommend at least getting a kayak to get into the places that you might not be able to get to. Decoys are very important when you go teal hunting because you gotta have decoys. I mean, I'm sure it can be done without decoys, but I've had teal decoys so many times that it makes it a lot more enjoyable than just sitting on a bucket and pass shooting. So here are the decoys that I'm gonna be using this year during teal season. First up, we got the brand new FA Blue Wings and Green Wings. I did an unboxing video on these the other day, but there's the Drake Blue Wing. Now, in teal season, the teal you're gonna be shooting are gonna look like this. They're not plumed out, but I've never really noticed teal to really care that much if they're plumed or not, but there's the green wing, super pumped about that. So I got a dozen green wings and a dozen blue wings that I'll be taking. Now, if you want a more realistic look, all the birds are not gonna have any plumage on them. So to be as realistic as possible, what you can do is only use your hen teal decoys. So if I did that, I would only have 8 hen teal decoys, which that would probably work. I could probably get the job done with 8 decoys and a spinner, but I like having numbers. I feel like they're really just looking for bodies on the water, and so when they're buzzing around, they see bodies, they go to what they see. So that's an option for you. You can just go out and buy your teal decoys and use them all throughout the season. But here's something else, a little trick that I've been doing ever since I started, and that is hen mallard decoys. Now these are my FA Last Pass mallards. As you guys can see, they're kind of small. I've done a lot of videos on these. I love these decoys. But these basically look like hen teal decoys, or just any teal decoy. Just with the size, they're a little bigger than a regular teal, but I would think that these would do just fine if you're taking these into a marsh. So that kind of ups the number of brown decoys in the spread. So I'll be taking those. I got a dozen of these bad boys and 2 dozen teal decoys, and I think that'll get the job done just fine. And that's a very comfortable amount of decoys for me to throw in the back of my kayak or in my sled, or even toss in the bottom of the boat here. Let's go ahead and dig into this blind bag. And there's a lot of stuff in here that you probably don't necessarily need per se. It's just really handy to have them. So I'll go through the absolute necessities first, and then go into kind of the more fluff items in the end. So the bag here, this is my blind bag that I use all the time. It's the Rogers Elite Double Spinning Wing Backpack. It's got zippered pockets on the top lid. It's got pockets all over the inside, slots for your wings, for your spinners, pockets on the sides to hold your shells, and it's a backpack. And you guys can see on the side here, it's got little slots to hold your Mojo poles or Lucky Duck poles or whatever. I always keep a couple extra carabiners. It's got all kinds of doodads, so if you want to learn more, there's a link in the description to check out that bag. But necessities here. This year, I'm going to be taking my 20 gauge. It actually slipped my mind to grab the 20 gauge, but you're gonna need a shotgun, so make sure you bring a shotgun and the appropriate shells. So this year I'm bringing my 20 gauge. I'm gonna be shooting some 20 gauge steel loads here. These are 2 3/4 inch 7s. So I've never shot 7s at teal. I've shot 6s and 5s. never shot sevens, so we'll give these a try. You know, with the way shells are these days, it's very difficult to find really any ammo. So you gotta hop on what you can find. So I found some sevens, and I figured, you know, I normally decoy teal pretty close, so I think the sevens will do just fine. Plus, I wanted something multi-purpose. I wanted something that I can take dove hunting and I can take teal hunting. So I felt like sevens were a really good choice there because sixes were nowhere to be found. I recommend sixes, fives. We'll see how the sevens do, but pick your choke accordingly. I always shoot a modified choke. I'm gonna be decoying these teal at 15, 20 yards, so if it hits them, they're dead. Other necessities, people always comment this, and I figured it kind of goes without saying, is you need a hunting license and all your stamps and everything, so make sure you have that. Other things that I personally feel are a necessity is either a thermocell or some bug spray. You're in a marsh in the hot weather and it's gonna be sticky and it's gonna be lots of mosquitoes. So get yourself a thermocell or some really good bug spray because you're gonna definitely need it. Headlamps, of course. I always carry a few just in case your battery dies. This is the one I use. It's been beat up and broken. I fixed it with duct tape, but I always try to keep an extra spare with a good battery in the bag because we've all been there. We go reach in our bag, pull out our light, and battery's dead. So it's always good. Keep a spare in your bag. That's just a good rule of thumb. I feel like, you know, you have your gun, you have your shells, you got your license, you got bug spray, waders. Hold on one second. I can tell it's been a minute since I've done any kind of hunting related stuff. I totally blanked on the waders. These are the waders I'm gonna wear. I wore these all season last year. These bad boys are the best waders I've worn. These are the Rogers Elite 2-in-1s. So they did do some upgrades on the new ones this year. This will be a metal G hook. There's gonna be metal D rings. And then they also upgraded the neoprene on the boots to a ripstop material. But yeah, get yourself a pair of waders if you don't have some. Make sure they're chest waders. They're gonna serve you all season long. So I recommend breathables, but a lot of people like neoprene still. But I really encourage everybody to go and get some breathables because once you go to breathable waders, you're never gonna go back to neoprene. So yeah, don't forget your waders. So waders, guns, shells, decoys, license. You should be good. Don't forget some bug spray, don't forget a water, and if you're like me, you won't forget your coffee. Now, a couple other items that I highly recommend is a spinner. I feel like this is something that's not everybody has, but it's a great thing to have when you're teal hunting. I usually use this teal spinner. I've taken my mallard spinners, I've taken my dove spinners. I try to break out every spinner I've got and put it in my spread. So spinners are great. Make sure you don't forget the wings. So check your batteries, replace your batteries the night before, put your wings and your decoy in the bag so then you don't forget it, because I've been there. I've taken the spinner out and not found the wings. So keep track of that. Extra batteries, of course, so you can use these for your headlamp or for your spinning wing decoys if they require AA batteries. When it comes to like mallard decoys with spinners, I always get the 6-volt rechargeables, but that's just my personal opinion. And then I like having shell loops. I don't personally care for keeping the shells inside the box, especially if I'm in my kayak. I'm throwing my shells into this bad boy. So highly recommend getting one of these. You can throw them in your waders too. This actually has clips here to hang it on your waders if you'd like, but that's just a little extra deal that I enjoy. And then we need to talk a little bit about some hearing protection. Now these are my Tetra Alpha Shields. If you guys want to take a look at these, I highly recommend them. I've been using them for 2 years and they've been the best hearing protection I've ever worn. There's kind of a close up maybe, that's what they look like. So there's just like a little earbud that goes in your ear, it protects your ear, but it's also electronic so you can hear everything that's going on. All the things we like to hear, the teal buzzing over top, the calling sounds normal, and you know, it's an investment. You know, you can buy a $1,000 shotgun this year, or you can buy your Alpha Shields to protect your hearing. There was one thing, I figured this isn't a necessity, but I really have enjoyed using this. This is a Teal call. So I've used this a lot and I've seen it work a lot. So get yourself a Teal call. It's very, very, very useful. And then I guess last but not least, I was going through my closet of stuff and found this bad boy. I was like, oh, that thing's pretty sweet. That'd be handy, whether we're dove hunting or teal hunting or whatever. It's a little magnet on a stick, and so I can pick up all my spent shells without having to bend over. So highly recommend getting one of those because you gotta pick up after yourself. Don't be those guys who just leave your shells floating around. Don't make me clean up after you, and leave it just as good as you found it, if not better. I'm sure I missed some stuff. If I did, let me know down in the comments what you guys think that you should bring teal hunting, but I wanted to kind of make this a short and sweet and quick video, just kind of covering all the basic items that somebody might need. Don't forget your Mojo pole or your Lucky Duck pole or whatever. Don't forget your wings, check your batteries. This is like the beginning of the season. You gotta get everything down right now, so then in November, you're not having to drive halfway to the marsh and realize you forgot your kayak paddle and drive all the way back home just to get your kayak paddle. So, been there, done that. I've done it with waders, I've done it with my shotgun. So get in a routine now, so then you kind of run through that list in your mind before you leave the house and you're good to go. So if you guys enjoyed this, drop me a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and I'll catch you on the next one.